this standard will tackle the kindergarten standard for counting and cardinality number 5. This standard asks that students be able to answer the question, how many, when given a certain set of objects. The objects can be presented to students in a line, a rectangle, or a circle. And students can also go ahead and count a scattered or an unorganized set of objects. The second part of this standard is that students will be able to produce a set of objects. And the last part of this standard is that we can have students do all of this counting by using the context of pennies. So the big piece here is that we want to assess that students are both counters of objects and they can also produce a set. We're looking for both counters and producers in this kindergarten standard. Let's take a look and see what it could look like in a kindergarten classroom.
What do you see there? And how do you know that they're pennies?
Because they look brown.
They're brown. Okay. Can you get me 8 pennies out of there, please? How many are there?
8.
And how do you know that there's 8 there?
Because you can count by ones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Love it. Nice. All right. Let me ask you this question. I'm going to take some more here, and we're going to do this. All right. How many are in that line? And how do you know 14?
Because I was counting in my brain.
You counted in your brain? You didn't need to touch them?
No.
Okay. What if I was to do this? Now how many are there?
14.
Okay. How do you know that there's 14 there?
Because I was in my head I was like, why? I know that it was still 14.
It was still 14?
Yeah.
Okay. Can you count those for me to prove that it's 14?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14.
And how many are there?
14.
Okay. Let's do this. How many are there now?
$14?
14?
No.
You can touch them to count them if you want.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
12? Are you sure?
11.
Positive?
Yes.
Okay. Nice. Good job. Thank you.
Here we're able to see that we can formatively assess everything this student knows about counting. At first, they were able to produce a set of 8 pennies. And then Well, we went ahead and created a set for them to count, and they were able to count them. Now, the circular pattern, yeah, that tends to throw some kindergarten students off. And you know what? It's perfectly fine. It's then that they need to adapt and introduce themselves to a counting strategy to where they don't double count certain objects. There's a whole lot happening in this standard, but let's make sure that we're assessing for both counters and producers of number.